Good morning. Today is day 75. It is gorgeous, it is sunny, we got a breeze. It is the perfect summer day to go hiking. We're in New York today with the plan to go 18 miles roughly, but today's going to be a bit of a kind of up for whatever happens because we've got some issues with one of the big sections, Bear Mountain, we're supposed to go over today. But it has, I guess, sustained quite a bit of damage on that rain that we had in June, July, I don't even remember anymore. Anyway, it's been closed, there's some detours. I don't have really good instructions on what those detours are. So we're just gonna have to figure that out when we get there and see the signs, because there's been signs everywhere for stuff. So hopefully that'll be no different, and hopefully they'll be clear and concise and we'll actually understand what's going on. Because every other sort of detour I've managed to just kind of blow right through. But we'll see. I mean, maybe it's not as bad as we think and maybe it's worse. Who knows? But it is a gorgeous summer day here in New York. It's not humid right now and it's not supposed to rain. I don't even see a cloud in the sky. So let's hope it stays that way. I'll show you what I'm running on this morning. And also, before we get going too far, before they get too dirty, these are my snazzy new topos I discussed yesterday. Well, they're already a little bit dirty. I've already done a little mud running, but that is the last time they're gonna look that clean. That's the trail. And I gotta say, like, slugs have been a big issue this whole time because it's been so wet, but the slugs here, jeepers, they're huge. They were little tiny guys up until this point. I mean, they were plentiful because it was so wet. There were thousands of them. But now these guys are just, I don't know, I guess you grow them big in New York. But, so, this is my trail. You can see the sun shining behind me here. We are a little later than anticipated just because it is a bit of a drive from where the Airbnb we were staying at. Like I said, my plan is 18 miles. The rest of the tramway is on a slightly different schedule. I think they're only doing 9.5, so we started ahead of them. And I think we got a bit of an uphill climb today. Or at least for the first part. I mean, we definitely do for Bear Mountain. But Bear Mountain even isn't that high, but it's quite a popular tourist area when it's open. Like, there's all sorts of stuff up there, but I guess we'll find out if we get to go up it at all. I'm not sure. All right, well, let's get hiking. I'm not really sure what that little critter is, but if you know, throw me a little link or an answer in the description because he's kind of fun looking. He's not moving though, so I'm going to guess that's his defense mechanism and I'll just leave him be. Okay, so I've just climbed up on this hill and this is my beautiful sunny view today. This section to get here, I gotta say I didn't love because it wasn't well marked, and after raining, everything kind of looks like a trail. So it was kind of really hard to follow. It definitely makes having a GPS app worth its weight in gold because honestly, I couldn't find the markers. I eventually found one, and I do know I'm on the right path now, but I gotta say I stood there for about 10 minutes just trying to figure out which direction, and the little GPS on my device on my app there showed me I was on the trail. I just honestly couldn't find it. So if you're ever not sure whether or not you want to spend the money for that app far out, gotta say it is so worth it in my opinion, or at least one like it, if you're prone to getting lost. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so we're just coming off the trail. I think we have to cross the road, but yeah, it's a highway, a store, a deli, a gas station. I guess this becomes a lot more common the further south we go. It's just up until now I've not experienced this, so quite interesting. I'm not really sure where the trail is supposed to go from here, but I guess I'm gonna figure that out. Okay. So that's the deli. I actually don't really need any food right now, so I'm not gonna bother to stop in. And we're gonna continue to go on this way. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to stop at the market, but I decided I want to use the bathroom, and then I get there and the bathroom's closed, but they have a porta potty. So I'm not that urgent yet. But anyway, because I went in there, I had to get something. I got an orange juice and a beef patty. Because, well, I mean, it's 11 o'clock, it's snack time. So I'm going to have those and then get back on the trail. River on the Purple Heart Bear Mountain Bridge. We won't be going to Bear Mountain after all because it is completely closed. A lot of washout. So they have a detour on one of the roads around the park that you have to walk through. So sadly we won't get to see a view, which is a shame because it's actually a nice day out. Should be walking on, but we can't get to because the trail is closed. That's the bridge we just walked over. And we should be going to Bear Mountain, which is on the other side, which we can't. And we'll have to make arrangements to go around and detour that tomorrow. So in the meantime, we're doing a little extra road walk on this bridge to get to the parking lot to where we need to be, because all of the other entrances to the Bear Park are closed and you can't even get into them. So I think at the end of the day, instead of doing the 18 that I was planning, I ended up doing closer to 13, I think, maybe? I don't know, I'll have to look. Not quite as far as I planned, but that's okay. Just gotta roll with it sometimes. Good morning, it's day 76, and I've had a very confusing morning. Trying to do all of the Bear Mountain closure sections, and so many people not knowing what's the right way, what's the wrong way, what's the detour. It's not very well marked. And then there was a new reroute across the Palisade parking, or parkway I should say, and that's not very well clearly marked. So I got that all done, which is good because the Palisade Parkway is crazy busy. And I guess before you used to actually walk across that. There's no sidewalks, pull-offs, shoulders, that's the word I'm looking for. So it's crazy. So there's just a lot of detours. I don't know how many extra miles it puts on or takes off, or maybe it even balances out. I don't know. Anyway, maybe some people didn't find it very confusing. I'm directionally challenged, and I'm happy to have a GPS that tells me a lot of stuff, but the way it's written and far out didn't really make much sense until I got there, and they have a big sign posted. So once you get there, it's easy to understand, but until you get there, it's not easy to understand. So all sorted out, all back on trail, and I see my first little sign here to go back into the woods from my lovely road walk, which at least is not being, feeling like Frogger running across the highway. So there we go, back into the woods. This is the start of the trail. Still, the plan, and has been so far today, has been a total of 22 miles, 22.1, something like that, roughly. But with all the detours and whatnot, it's really kind of hard to say how many miles I will have done at the end of it all, but approximately that. So it is a big mile day, but I mean, I didn't have to climb up Bear Mountain because you couldn't, which is a shame because there's a zoo and stuff there. And if you got in the hours, you could walk through the zoo, which I was kind of looking forward to doing. But with everything closed, obviously so was the zoo. And parking around, it's an awful mess out here. Definitely starting off a little rocky. I don't think it'll stay this way. I think it's just little sections. I've noticed these rocks picking up a bit, and I'm kind of getting a sense that's what Pennsylvania's going to be like. I mean, that's why they call it Rocksylvania, but don't know. These are the signs they put up for us for the detour and whatnot. And what's interesting is the way it used to be was you would go way down here straight across, but that makes you walk the parkway, and you would walk all along here and then up here. But now with the other, and you would come down here, but this is all closed off now. Sorry, this all here is all closed off. So you're coming from a road, and I'm not sure, and it's just, yeah, it's very confusing. So now you're coming this way, and you're going, and that's a bridge across the top, which I was talking over, which is good. And so now I'm here. So they make you come all the way up here, and then they shoot you all the way back down there. Anyway, it's a little bit confusing. I mean, they have all these signs, and once you get to the signs, like I said, they make sense, but it's not very well documented in the app that a lot of AT users do. So, you know, there you go. Okay, so this is the view from Black Mountain, and that is the Hudson River. And apparently, according to here, this is the best view of the New York City skyline that you can get from the AT, which unfortunately it looks a bit hazy, so I don't think we're really getting a very good view, but it's still very pretty up here, and it's a very clear day. It's quite warm already. I think it's supposed to get into the 80s, mid 80s today. Humid as always, because that's the nature of the East Coast. So yeah, it's been gorgeous hiking up here today. The bugs are not too bad, but that's still kind of neat. Jeff and I had originally planned to go to New York City for a day, but there's just so much in New York that one wants to see. So we decided we're just going to keep hiking the trail, and we will make an adventure a separate time after the AT, when we can be real people and not smell bad, and take a couple of days to enjoy New York, because, you know, one day is really not enough to see much. And coming from the AT, it takes a good bit of time to actually get into the city and then back out of the city. So we'll just enjoy the view from up here and call it that. Okay. Yeah. This is the shelter here. It's quite formidable, actually. It's all stone. Got a bunch of, you can see that, cables there for your bear hang, because they want you to hang your food here. And I'm on the white trail. I got a little turned around because this is not very clear, but there's a bunch of people camped over there. So they pointed me in the right direction because I was so going the wrong way. And I do recall a couple of weeks ago meeting up with the Nobo, and he did mention that there were sections in New York that were very confusing. And I gotta say, he was bang on, because the forest all looks the same, and with the rain, you can't go by the tried and tested. The ground looks more worn here, so let's follow that type of idea, which I did a lot of. The ground all looks the same, and the trees all look the same. They're all spaced the same, and they don't necessarily put enough white paint. But I found it, so let's continue on. Take a little water break here by a water cistern or holder or something, I don't know. Just going to show you, see all sorts of fun things on the AT. Oh, there's a much older one too. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're going to take a little water break from the heat and humidity today, and I think we're about 15-ish miles in. The sidewalk of the woods. Massive flat slabs. This is the fingerboard shelter on this lovely rock outcropping. Decent sized little shelter. And it's got a fireplace built in, 2 fireplaces built in, and apparently some water.
Someone's cell phone.
And, someone left their cell phone.
On poles, so maybe they're not going.
Maybe they've just gone to the bathroom or something. Alright, but this is where our family will be staying tonight. We will not, but they certainly will. And there's black bears in this activity. But that is our location. Rat snake over here. See him. He's harmless to us, but he's just chilling out there. It's a good size.
Hey, buddy. Nice.
All right, we'll leave him be. I didn't even record it. Do you want to get a picture of the baby there?
Baby. Mommy. Not impressed.
No.
Oh, not overly concerned.
They don't seem to be too concerned with us, but we will let them be. closer to mile 20. Somewhere along here, before the end of the day, we will pass through something called the Lemon Squeezer, which is really a narrow section of boulders that you have to squeeze through. So let's get to that.
It's gonna be tough going there. It was definitely easier coming up here.
Just run. Run and jump and tuck and roll.
Well, it can't be any worse. Is the little red button going?
Big or small?
Are you guys on the Appalachian Trail?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing the whole thing?
Yeah.
Sadly.
Oh, good
Going
for you.
southbound.
Straight.
That's awesome. Enjoy it.
It's recording. Thank you. Have a good hike.
This actually is a beautiful state. It truly is.
What's that?
This state is beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Very well maintained.
My home and native land.
You too, my friend.
Chef, I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to get
She lives.
Although I gotta say, that is way longer than my legs. So if you want to take the easy way, I totally get it.
Gotta jump. You're gonna have to catch me.
So that was what I went down. That is the regular trail. And around the backside there, there's just the blue trail, which is the easy way around, so that people who don't wish to
To
fly off a cliff can, safely come through. Now we're going to be coming to the Lemon Squeezer. Okay, so the Lemon Squeezer is really, you got to go down through this crevice, which for scale isn't very wide, because I only have size 8 feet now.
Charge.
Oh yeah, it's not wide, is it? This is not lemon squeezy, easy peasy. This is the bird's eye view of the Lemon Squeezer. And you come out and you get to go through that hole. And you came from up there. And Jeff is just gonna throw his shit through. And the final obstacle of the Lemon Squeezer is, well, this isn't really much of an obstacle because it's pretty big in here. Way bigger than the Mahoosuc Notch, because I can stand. Alright, so that's about at mile 20. We got 2 more miles to go, and we are done for the day. And we're going up that way.
More hills.